Good day, everybody. Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6. We're a team of crypto traders. We trade cryptos every day. We're not bag holders. We don't hold on for dear life. We don't throw darts at a dartboard. We read charts. Today is January 18th. It's a Thursday. What we're going to do today is we're going to do our pre-market warm-up. It's about 8 a.m. Eastern Time in the United States. So let's just jump right to it. First of all, let me say if you're a new trader and you're not sure about how trading goes, this is our pre-game warm-up. Today what we do is we're going to open up CoinMarketCap. We're going to take a look at the top five cryptos and determine whether because these are the market leaders, this will give us kind of an overview of whether the market is buying or selling. Now, as you can see, today looks pretty green. We just went through a pretty big bloodbath and recovery is underway. But use caution because we're not seeing skyrocketing prices like we used to. So these things can turn around on a dime and go back down rather quickly. When we look at our charts, you'll see what I mean, but I just want to go through this real quick. Bitcoin today is up 14% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum is up 20%. Bitcoin is at $11,700. That's about halfway from its high. Ethereum is pretty close to its all-time high. I believe that was around $1,300. Ripple is about halfway back to its all-time high of $3. Looking good. There's some really good strength there. We're going to examine that one real well. Bitcoin Cash is slumping a bit. I believe it's had an all-time high of around $3,000 if you take out that big spike from the who was it? Coinbase. Coinbase had an $8,000 print one day, and that was really unrealistic. I don't think anybody ever got filled at that. But anyway, that's Bitcoin Cash. I'm going to skip over Cardano here and move on to Litecoin. I tend to like Litecoin a little better. You Cardano fans, trade it. That's what you like, you trade it. But I'm going to go for Litecoin here. Litecoin's been in the mix a little bit longer. So that's the top five as I see it. I've prepared my charts here. I look at daily charts just so everybody knows. As you can see, we had a big run up. This is Bitcoin. This is the #1 cryptocurrency. It had a big run up. These are our moving averages. It traded above the moving averages for the longest period of time. Then around the first of the year, it hit its all-time peak just under $20,000, and it fell dramatically, as you would expect. I mean, that's a healthy pullback. It bounced and went right through the 26 period or 26-day moving average, and then it never really has recovered. Now what we're seeing is we're seeing lower lows and lower highs, which is actually very bearish. You might think, oh, I want to jump in here. For the bag holders, they're probably jumping in and getting in it right now. Me, as I see it, I don't see a long-term trade here. I don't see Bitcoin as a long-term trade resuming its trend. The trend lines have been broken, and until some sort of base can be formed, I'm expecting that Bitcoin can go lower or it'll base. The likelihood of it going much higher, well, it's crypto. I guess anything is possible. And it certainly could. There's three options here. One, it can go lower. Two, it can trade sideways. Or three, it can go higher. Duh. Anyway, as I see it based on the current trend, I see the trend as down, lower highs, lower lows. I will tell you this, the last 2 days were the bloodbath. That was right here. Right now, we've got a bit of a recovery. So for those of you who want to put on a short-term trade, and you're not looking for the long-term trade, you're looking to scalp this thing and make a little bit of money, you're going to have to jump in here to some noise a little bit. To do that, I get down to about an hourly chart. And if my charts print correctly, that's great. What you'll see is the hourly charts are showing a bounce. And we're showing higher highs. So for a short-term trade, Bitcoin looks to be A buy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put on a short-term Bitcoin trade. I do market orders. I've got my screen open off to the side here. It's right now 8:18 a.m. I'm going to put in a market order right here for where we are. Actually, I don't like this. I'm not going to do a market order. I'm going to wait for it to pull back a little bit. If it keeps going and takes off, we're great. Here's what I'm saying. Actually, I will put my order in. I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to put my order in. I'm going to execute at the current market price, and we'll see if we get filled. Give me 1 second here. Okay, that should do it. That didn't work. Okay, I'll come back to that one. I will be placing a market order in here. I do market orders. I don't do limit orders. If you place an order right now, we're just at under 11,500. Today, since this recovery is happening and we're above the two trend lines, I'm going to say target I see resistance here at about 13,500. So get in about 11,500. Look for a $2,000 profit. Put your stop. I'm going to say about 10,500. Anything less than that, it's look out below. If you want to get really wild and put a really wild stop, you can put it down here at 9,500. If you get to 9,500, you better be out of here. Otherwise, you're going to be one of those long-term holders. So that's Bitcoin. The next one we're going to look at here is Ethereum. Ethereum has a very nice, healthy chart. This is actually still a bullish chart, even though we had some really bad days. When you have bad days, everything seems to go down. All boats seem to sink at once. Ethereum, as you can see, we had a nice run-up. We were well above the moving averages. Right now, we have broken through the short-term moving average, but we are bouncing off the 26-period moving average on a daily. I like to see that because when we see prices bounce back to that line, that's typically a big-time buy signal. Is it always a buy signal? Could we fall apart here? You know, if there's more bloodletting in these markets, I'm believing Ethereum will sell off. But there's a lot of new tokens coming out, a lot of new ICOs, and a lot of activity. So I expect to see that Ethereum will continue higher. I would put a market order in here at 1,027. I would target 1,300 and pull some off there and then let the rest ride since we are in a bull market. As it relates to a stop, I would put my stop down here about 900 and then just be out all the way, and then we'd let that thing consolidate a little. If you're a shorter, I'm not even going to go into shorter term. I like Ethereum longer term. I'm not a long term. Remember, I don't hold them forever, but I would hold this trade for weeks. We could see some nice weeks of profit based on this current bull trend. Next one is Ripple. Ripple is number 3 in the list. We had a all-time high of about $3. It pulled back here to 1. I bought some at 105 yesterday. I chickened out and got out at 135. This is a bullish signal on, this is my 4-hour chart. Let's see if the daily will load. The daily is loading. This is actually kind of bearish. Looks like we could cross and turn and continue to go higher. Knowing the history of Ethereum, I apologize, of Ripple, I would expect that this one long-term will continue. Their business model is excellent. Although they aren't decentralized, they control their own supply, and they are working with banks, which people seem to hate. I see them as a long-term play. My daily chart is not loading. I don't know why. Give me a minute. Let's see if we can get this thing to load. Okay, so my daily chart has loaded. Not really all that well. If I had to make a play for Ripple here, I would say we're going to probably test new highs. I'd really like to see it cross these moving averages. So I would dip my toe in here today. I'd put a stop down here at about 113. I'd buy anywhere here at or around 150, and I would be targeting 250 because actually there's quite a bit of resistance here at $2, so I'd probably offload half there, let the rest ride, and see where we go from there, and then trail it with a stop. Basically, since we're trading daily, I would move my stop from the yesterday's low to the next day's low to the next day's low until you get blown out of here. That's Ripple. Next one is Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is kind of a crazy moving animal. I'm going to leave this one on the 4-hour just because it's so jittery and so jumpy. As you can see, it recorded an all-time high of about $4,000. I don't know if anybody ever got filled up there or not. I know the Coinbase issue made it spike real high. I guess they might have filled. I think Coinbase said they had them up there at around 8,000. I'm not sure. Anyway, that said, this thing has formed a base. 2,400 to 2,500 US dollars to each Bitcoin Cash seems to be the norm. We are currently below the moving averages. We do have a crossover here on the 9-period moving average. That can be the signal that we are turning around a bit. Again, this had a major fall down. We have not seen it test a bottom. So purchasing in here could prove to be tricky. What I mean by that is you could buy here right at 1,800, although I think 1,800 is a good because we got some support back here going back about a month. So I don't believe we're going to see it blow through here too much. I think we're going to stay around $1,650 or so. I would buy this today at $1,850. I'm going to go do a market order on that. I'll put my stop at $1,600. I'm targeting $2,400. I would dish off half the position. And if we tend to move through that, I'd get rid of the other half right up here at $2,800 again if we see that high. Once you do that, we'll see where it goes from there. You reevaluate your trade and you get back in. Again, we're not long-term bag holders. We are traders. Last is Litecoin. Litecoin is a wild animal as well. This is a 4-hour chart. I'm going to use the 4-hour chart only because it gives me a little more perspective on the intricate movements here. Gives you a good bit of noise. As you can see, volume on Litecoin is pretty light throughout the selling. So there's probably a lot of holders here who bought this thing way up and they're not selling. They're still holding. So what that means is the resistance here, as we go higher, those people are still anxious. A lot of them are going to get weak hands and they're going to sell. We just crossed the 9-point moving average, the 9-period moving average. That's a little bullish. I'd like to see it cross both and resume a trend similar to that. But I believe it's going to be a little choppy here. Where would I go? I would purchase Litecoin anywhere under $200 here and expect to get up to about 240. I'd put my stop down here about 175. If it goes to 175, we could see it just look out below and get down here back to a 120. I don't think so, though. The reason I say that, Litecoin is the alternative to Bitcoin. Long-term holders of Bitcoin tend to do it as a store of value. Litecoin is something you can actually trade. The miner fees are less expensive. So that's where we are today, folks. I am Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6. If you're interested in learning more about trading, like and subscribe this page. Hit us up on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page where you can catch our live calls as they happen throughout the day. Once this video is done, it will be posted online, and then I'm going to go look hunting through the alts for other nice speculative trades. I'm looking to make some money today. We have a recovery underway. You should be looking to make some money too. If you're a long-term holder, Figure out how you're going to get out of that bag of mess. You can either hold it and hide under the bed until it's all over with and the storm is gone, or you can get out here and trade. Some people don't like trading. They say it's, I don't know, too risky. I have no idea. They got no skills. They got no time. I don't know what it is. I'm interested in making crypto, filling my bags, keeping it profitable. This is how we do it. Sergeant Crypto here. Good trading. Crypto Team 6 out.